my budding art family. Well, I got a new moleskin little watercolor book here, and I was doing some little flower doodles in here with my watercolors, and I decided to do another little mini painting. There it is, a little preview for you. So if you'd like to see how I did it, just keep watching. So if you'd like to paint along with me or get some inspiration, go and get this flower art book by Creative Haven. I can get it on Amazon or Michael's or whatever. And what I did was I got this flower girl picture out of here, and she is I've always been interested in like mixing nature with the human form, and I'm a very organic person. I like natural things. I believe in natural healing and natural things. So I took this page out of the book. I like to take these pages out and trace them in full, or even just parts of the image, and leave other parts out so I can be creative and get them onto good watercolor paper so I can paint them properly. So I took out the drawing in the book, and I was too lazy to get out my full-on light table. So what I did was I actually just sketched this. I traced it over the light on my iPad mini. I just shoved the paper over my iPad and the watercolor paper in my moleskin right over that. And I just did a quick loose sketch and left parts open where I knew I was going to ad-lib and let my creative juices flow. So right here I'm laying out the supplies that I thought I'd be using. I used all of these except for my squirrel brush there, which is the tan brush, the Jackson's brush. And for this I used my Schmincke watercolor set. The paper I'm using is obviously my new little moleskin watercolor journal here. And I'm not sure what size it is, but it's small. So as I said, I'm using my Schmincke watercolor set. These are the artist grade Horadam series. I have some water here, and what I do is I just clean out a Bath & Body Works candle so that I can use the top, because I like to keep the top on so my cats won't drink the water. Here's my porcelain palette, which is actually just part 3 of a food plate, some paper towel. And the brushes I'm using are a number 1 Escoda Optimo Kolinsky Sable brush and a number 8 HJ series white Taklon just synthetic brush, and a Copic multi-liner you'll see me use later. So right here I'm just putting on some clear water, and the colors I'm using for the skin here are Chrome Yellow Deep, Deep Red, Magenta, and Naples Yellow, and then later on some violet or indigo to cool it down. And the painting is sped up through most of it, but I do slow it down every once in a while so you can see it real time. So for that skin color, I always use just a bit of pink, a bit of orange, and a bit of like a white or a brown, depending on the watercolor set. And then I used permanent carmine or magenta, just watered down for the cheeks and the nose, because you want to put wherever blood gathers on the human body, like the earlobes, the wrists, the fingers, the nose, maybe the chin, possibly the forehead, definitely the cheeks. You want to mix a bit of violet or pink in there, because that's where the blood goes, so to get that luminosity of the skin. Okay, and so here's the part of the drawing where I specifically left open or very, very loose and kept it very sketchy or non-existent at all, so that I could go full on and just let the hair go as it may, and I'm trying to tie it in with the leaves and sort of have it swirling around her, sort of thing. this is not a tight sketch. I'm being loose and free because I want to be very creative and just ad lib, and I want everything to kind of flow together. I want the leaves to flow into her hair and the dress to be confused with what she's wearing, which merges into her hair, that kind of thing, because she's organic, an organic goddess or something. So, and that little thing around her neck is a chrysalis, where a butterfly is hatching. And of course, her jewelry is vines coming around, which is inspired by that little drawing. But as you can see, I kind of drew it on there myself. So the funny thing about this little painting is I found out that it looked really crappy the whole way through, even to the very end until I did the final touches. It didn't look right, didn't look good. So don't let that get you down if that happens to you. Because what I did was came in at the end and tightened everything up with the Copic multiliner, but mainly my Derwent Color Soft pencils. And I just kind of softened everything and tweaked things at the end, which I'll show you. So here is just a little bit of real-time footage for you to see what it actually looks like painting this. You see, I'm painting here just out of my head because when I sketched this out, I sketched certain things very distinctly, but I left parts just kind of open because I knew I'd be drawing my own leaves in there and kind of going wild with it. So what you can do if you need to jumpstart your creativity, or you're having an artist block or something, or you just want to paint and you don't feel like doing a huge composition, trace something, but only trace certain parts of it. Like I traced her face and I traced a couple of the leaves and the general idea, but left a lot of the parts open for me to ad lib. And that's a good tip for beginners. So you get the benefit of both worlds. You get to learn by sketching something that is already there for you, but leaving parts open that will let your own creativity flourish, and you can ad lib and just let your painting grow organically as you paint along. Okay, so I love cool colors, can you tell? All those greens are mainly, well, there's some warm yellowish greens in there, but overall the tone of the painting is cool. The purple and the pink is cool, and there's a lot of cool greens going on. So to balance that out, I'm doing the center of the flowers in burnt sienna and a warm yellow. So just be conscious of the overall tone of your painting. Every once in a while, take a look at it and think, is this overly cool? Because mine was. It was starting to get very cool. So I just threw in that burnt sienna and some warm yellow to balance it out a little bit. I'm just touching up the chrysalis here and her jewelry and her arm vine band. And I think she's looking very nymph-like at this point. So if you do use this method, you can sort of trace part of the image that you have problems with, say a face or just the body shape, but leave those other parts open that you know you're going to have fun with, like the hair, and then have an idea in your head, okay, leaves and hair. That's what I knew I'd be sort of going crazy with, is merging leaves and weaving them in and out of her hair. And what's really funny is, I'll tell you now, but at the end, it's... Okay, so here I go in with my Derwent pencils. I'm just showing you here. So here's where I go in and sort of start defining edges and tightening things up, tweaking where contrast needs to be, things need to be darker or things need to be lighter. And this really helped the image along. But it's super funny because at the very end, I discovered, and it's only at the very end, you'll see the end picture, and she's got a total bitchy look on her face. You know, just one little thing can be off and your little character can have a total scowl on their face. So I'll mention it later, but it's really funny because she is looking like seriously bitchy look. Like she's just like stink eye. Anyway, I ended up fixing that by erasing the sides of her mouth, going over her lips in kind of white and then pink again, and somehow just doing that, I didn't even know what to fix. I just knew her mouth was kind of in a bitchy scowl. So I erased it and then did it again, and somehow whatever I did fixed the bitchy look. And she's not looking happy at the end, but she doesn't look like she's supremely pissed off. So that's a good thing. So it's really funny. It's about 98% done, this painting, and it still looks really bad. Only in the last 2%, it really comes together and looks good when I finish off her eyes. So a lot of what I'm doing here with the pencils are creating texture, you know, texture in the flowers, a little more leaves in the hair, and weaving them in and out, and a lot of contrast in the flowers. And then I go over with a lighter color to sort of even it out again. So I create contrast with a darker color and bring out those details. Then I go back in with a lighter color and smooth them out yet again. And on the face, it just seemed like a constant smoothing out because the watercolor has all sorts of little problems in there. And then, of course, her eyes always look very bare until I come in here with the dark on her eyes and put her pupils in. And that really, the eyes really are the window to the soul. So they really brought the image together, bringing her little chrysalis necklace out there. And highlighting in the leaves again are just bringing out more crisp details because the watercolor is so abstract and washy. The pencils really bring out those details. So the very last touches were the black and the pupils and the eyes and the nice big lashes and my Sakura Jelly Roll white pen, which is frustrating me to no end. It doesn't work very well. So here is the end picture. I think I had fixed her lips at this point, so I'm not sure. The bitchiness is kind of still there, but it's not too bad. It was really bad before I fixed it here. So I really hope you enjoyed this picture. See, she's kind of smiling now. I fixed that, so excellent. I really hope you enjoyed this. Anyway, drop me a comment, give me a like, subscribe if you like my channel and my art. And I hope you enjoyed this tip about stimulating your creativity, and I hope you could paint along with me or get an idea on how to trace part of an image but leave other parts for you to freely ad lib and just freely, meditatively paint. Thanks for watching. Bye.